Alrighty, welcome back. You gonna say anything?
The Rye Guy.
The Rye Guy.
That's why I was like,
alright.
yes.
Scuba and the Rye back for another episode review of For the Witcher. This one, episode 5, Bottled Appetites.
An appetite for something in this episode for sure.
Right? So, just quick housekeeping. Number one, if you like the videos that we're doing you want to go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button, give us a like, and by all means, share this out on your social media to let other people partake and share their opinions. Also, this is there will be spoilers in this. If you have not watched The Witcher on Netflix, go and check it out. It's 8 episodes, easy binge. Please note though that The Witcher is a mature show, so it's definitely would be a TVMA. You don't want to have little kids around watching that because there are some definite adult themes,
strong adult themes,
and some sceneries. But you know we're trying not to go into too much detail. But it is a really good show. There's a lot of layers. As we've been discussing on on our previous ones, you notice that it's taking a little bit longer to talk about each one because layer upon layer upon layer. So it's getting intense.
The world, you get to see a little bit more things and connections coming together.
Yeah, and with that, shout out to Syrinscape for providing the soundboard, which is providing the background music that you're hearing. Take your game to the next level. Go check out Syrinscape.com. And if you want to see more of us, we do Scuba and the Rye show podcast that we stream live on Twitch on Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. So check it out. There'll also be a link up here in a card to go to previous episode reviews that we've done for The Witcher, as well as at the end links to our episode reviews for The Mandalorian, as well as links to the playlist for checking out the Scuba and the Rye show. With that, I think I covered everything, right?
Yes.
I did? Sweet.
Yeah, you got it.
Sweet. Let's roll into this. Episode 5, Bottled Appetites.
Well, people had some appetites in this episode. That's all I can say.
Yeah. So let's start off with Yennefer.
Yennefer, yes.
Yennefer has abandoned the Brotherhood.
Yeah.
She's been operating on her own for we think is a couple of years.
Yeah, a couple of years since that
maybe a
portal
decade.
jumping.
Yeah, we're not really sure.
Yeah.
With this, but
this is when Yennefer meets Geralt.
Yeah, but at first though, she's trying to make some money on her own.
Yeah.
And offers this clinic to offer spells. And finds a way to maneuver herself into the mayor of this town's good graces.
Yes.
And so that's where we kind of leave her off. And then we jump over to... Actually... Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Geralt... We find Geralt and Yesker. Yesker apparently stumbles across Geralt after, say, 10 years since he was in Sintra?
Yeah, after the court
maybe
debacle.
A few years, a decade?
Yeah,
not really sure.
like
And Geralt appears to be fishing.
Yeah, he's doing something in the water.
He's got a net, he's throwing it, he's trying to catch stuff. But we'll come back to that because the start of this episode is Nilfgaard.
Yes.
Gotta backtrack because we saw Yennefer. All this is kind of in the beginning, but here's another major point. And that is the beginning of the episode. We had the King of Nilfgaard go and talk to a doppelganger.
Yes.
And enlist the services of this doppelganger to mimic the appearance of Sintra's court druid or mage to figure out a way to flush Ciri out of the forest she's in. Because at the end of the previous episode, we find out that the mage is there doing some pretty shady magic to try and locate Ciri.
Yeah, and it also watching their little shady use of magic, showing that Nilfgaard is pushing the bounds of what mages should be doing with magic.
Well, it seems like we previously with the Brotherhood, they had a control on how mages were trained. They had a control on how mages were utilized.
There's a leveling kind of experience.
It seems in Nilfgaard, in that 30 years since Yennefer and her class graduated,
Yes.
things have gotten a little curious.
Yeah, it showcases that instead of with the influence that Nilfgaard has, like they've expanded into other things that involve magic.
But we'll get into that a little later in the series. But so that's going on. So now we have this doppelganger who's taken the guise of the Dryad, and now making his way into the forest to find Ciri.
Yes.
So we'll come back with that. Yennefer, of course, is out in her good graces with the mayor of a local town.
And having some fun up there.
Oh, she's definitely doing something up there. We'll get to that in a minute. But Yesker and Geralt. And Geralt is apparently suffering from insomnia.
Yes.
And he figures the best way to cure his insomnia is to find a djinn.
Yep, a djinn is a very lethal kind of monster in The Witcher.
It's actually a very old beast in a lot of mythologies because a djinn is the source for the whole genie mythos.
Yes, and just like the
We're not talking the cool blue Rob Williams voice.
Or even Will Smith.
Or even the Will Smith voice, No, the djinns are...
straight evil. They grant wishes, but straight evil.
Yeah, and their wishes are... You better be careful how you phrase your wish with the djinn.
Oh yeah, because they take things literal and sometimes bend literal to their own will.
Yeah, so you have to be careful. They'll find a loophole in your phrasing.
Yes.
But djinns of that story have been used in a lot of modern fantasy, so it's nice to see it again. But this one, it's like Geralt thinks that he can cure his insomnia by finding a djinn.
Yeah, that's kind of odd.
Seems a little extreme, but
let's trust the monster to fix my nightmares.
If you release it, whatever. So Yesker, of course, he and Yesker are, of course, having it out.
Yeah.
Over Geralt's opinion of Yesker singing.
Yeah.
And he finally says, "I wish for some peace." And all of a sudden, Yesker can't talk, and he's got this huge bulb growing in his throat. It's like, okay,
something. Yeah.
So now Geralt is trying to save Yesker, and they go into this town, and this elf tries to treat him. It's like, yeah, you're going to need to find a magical cure. And Geralt's like, is there a mage in the area? Well, there's one mage, but they're very crafty. You should be careful. And they're holed up in the mayor's house.
Yes.
And sure enough, it's Yennefer.
It's Yennefer, and a lot of fun loving going on.
A lot of fun loving because she has manipulated and whatnot, and you can see she is so bored.
Yeah.
Until Geralt shows up with a jug of apple juice.
Well, yes. This is where Geralt and Yennefer meet, and a lot of fun ensues with their interactions and with the djinn.
Yeah, because Yennefer seems to have this crazy idea to make herself the vessel for the djinn, so she could become more powerful.
That and restore back what she lost.
She thinks she can.
Thinks.
That seems... I mean, that compared to Geralt's cure for insomnia, that seems pretty intense.
Yeah, and a lot of magical and shenanigans ensues, and it leads to another wish.
Yes. This is that whole... Now, this is a nice thing as far as a lore perspective, because if we've played Witcher 3, there is a whole storyline element where Yennefer and Geralt find another djinn.
Yeah.
And that djinn apparently breaks whatever bond is between Yennefer and Geralt. That turns out this is the event that created it. She tried to make herself the vessel for the djinn.
Yeah.
Geralt tried to save her. We never heard what the wish was. No. But he used his last wish to save Yennefer.
Yeah.
And that apparently created that bond that the two of them will continue to orbit each other for the next 30 years.
Plenty of years, yeah.
I mean, come on. They both age extremely slow at this point.
Oh, yeah. But, yeah. That whole connection, this is where it becomes true and leads into other things.
And I think this is where we have to give it to the breakout character of Yesker. have to bring it to him, because that whole bit with him and Geralt is just, the two of them have such
They have good
They had that
chemistry
odd
together.
couple kind of chemistry.
They have
It's
that like
great.
buddy cop kind of vibe to it, but it's one where it allows you to be that wanderer with them on the journey. But at the same time, it gives good comic relief because they're two contrasting individuals, personality-wise.
I love the whole bit where Yesker wakes up from his magically induced sleep and finds Yennefer trying to be this vessel, and then he comes across Geralt and is like, I had a great dream that turned into a nightmare. Both of them had these elements, but the first one was really kind of cool. The second one was really, really scary. And Geralt's like, tell me about the second one.
Yeah.
It's like, really?
It's so great. It's so great.
Oh, so good. And then it's like, and then with Yesker sitting there thinking that Geralt's dead, he's like, I'll never be the same. I will sing his praises. And then the elf's like, oh, they're alive. He goes, bollocks.
Yes.
I'm like, yes.
He lost his chance to be something better.
And then it's that whole, wow, they're really alive. But, and then Ciri's story.
Yes.
So that we've established the whole moment when Geralt and Yennefer meet. And it seems like, to me, the show really takes on a whole new life once Geralt and Yennefer meet.
Yeah.
It's like, but now we have Ciri. She's in the forest. She's learning. She's staying with the Dryads. And then this doppelganger shows up. She goes with him, and then through questioning realizes that it's not him. It's somebody else. And and it's like, what? So Ciri and her companion escape, but it's like there's a whole new layer because even that doppelganger realizes Ciri is he wasn't given all the information he needed.
Yeah, and yeah, he was just like, nope.
Mm-hmm. So, but with that, I think definitely is fast paced. What do you?
Yeah, it was a very fast-paced show. It had a lot of good. This was a more comedic show than all the other ones. I mean, there were some really dire situations with that djinn, but overall, it was very either high-paced or comedic.
The chemistry with Yesker and Geralt, and the chemistry with Geralt and Yennefer.
Yep, it shows where relationships matter the most.
Mm-hmm. I think it's really good. I mean, I'm kind of good that it's not Dandelion, but I can't wait to see when they do bring in Dandelion.
It'll be really hilarious when Dandelion comes into the picture, especially based on all the stuff.
If they get closer to the games, because Dandelion was part of the whole Witcher games.
Yeah.
Not sure where he was in the first part. So
Yes.
maybe
somewhere.
Yesker becomes Dandelion. Just takes the dude nom de plume.
Yep. Who knows?
But with that, thanks for checking us out. If you liked it, by all means, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit the bell so you'll be notified when we do when you have more videos posted. And with that, we'll see you on the next one.
Peace.